I think that we want to provide some data so that we're talking about the same thing. So the World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report says that parity is 134 years away, while women make 50% of the population is less than 25% of leadership positions worldwide. Even at the World Economic Forum, I was working here when we launched the Women Initiative 10 years ago. It resulted in less than 5% of female participation. If you start looking at Latinas, we're 9% of the population and less than 1% in senior positions. At the end of the day, we have one CEO of the Fortune 500 company when we are 20% of the population. And I do think that it is very much attributed for a number of things. One of them, which is the one that we're trying to tackle, is the lack of understanding of our own power, the lack of understanding of our own data.
Somebody said you cannot be what you can't see. And I think that is so important. We have so many examples of amazing Latinas, Latinos and Latinas in the US that I don't think we promote or give visibility into. So just getting that networking, recognizing, accomplishments, I think is super important. So we can be what we actually can see.
Latino tech founders get less than 2% of venture capital. Latinas get even less than that. We went through Y Combinator. When they were holding their female founder conference, they said, there's no Latinas. I was knocking on their door, like, where are the Latinas on the stage? They said, there's no Latinas. So I said, well, I will go find them for you, because they said, no Latinas have raised more than $1 million. I started the list with 35, eventually got to 100, eventually grew it beyond that and handed it off to Latinas in tech.
There's so much intersection with talent that we can bring that is looking to leapfrog and look at the Americas as a whole. And then also organizations that are standing to support us. So as we actually push and looking at many people around the table, I will call on you to put you on stage so that we can support each other. So I think we need to plan and probably get organized, which I'm sure Claudia can actually help us. The best way to do it is actually integrating into many of the efforts that we're all collectively doing.
I think we need all the voices. We need allies. We need everyone to actually participate as we look at growing our economies, growing the communities, and actually helping the next generations.
Let's truly open doors to everybody, not until everyone is in news. Not everyone is in communications, not everyone is in marketing. There are amazing Latinos out there, and we don't need to have everyone in the news to be able to welcome them and help them.
I was so blessed and grateful for having mentors, coaches, but actually sponsors, people that took an active interest in my own personal career when I joined the company 24 years ago, and people that, regardless of my nationality or gender, saw something in me, which created a conversation Claudia and I had around superpowers.
So at Fortune, there is this franchise called Most Powerful Women. It had started 25 years ago, okay? And it's sort of like, it has a life of its own. It's incredible, it's passionate, it's dynamic, people feel very connected, there is an incredible annual event that comes together with it, and a bunch of sort of like smaller events and sub-chapters. And one of these things, what we were talking about, where is MPW Latina, right? And how is it possible that for all these large media organizations, including the one that I'm running, Fortune, we don't think about it as the next chapter.
But what can we be doing as Latinos and the other non-Latinos that we influence in CEOs? What's the call to action for us?
We can bring Latinos to the global stage at all the major convenings around the world, whether that's on the stage, through storytelling, through our podcast, or through our research.
I think it's great to have an additional day where we can spend time getting to know each other, but I'd like to see more of us in MPW and on the stage.
So, Claudia, when we leave here, we have to make sure the work is actually getting done. Right. And so there's a lot of us who will continue to get together, conspire on some great ideas. And then I think next year we should be in this breakfast saying, here's what we did, here's what came out of this discussion here today, here's what worked, here's what didn't work, how do we improve upon it?
And I did hear next year, same year, same time, right? Like we hear that. Everybody heard that? That's amazing. Thank you so much.